Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, it's Jesse with the Common Nerd, bringing you pop culture and all things nerdy through a common sense lens. And I haven't been the biggest fan of the Marvel Cinematic Universe's version of Spider-Man, right? Like, I grew up with Spider-Man. He was one of my first heroes as a kid. Like, I knew Peter Parker as the genius he was that created his own kind of stuff and his own tech. And he was kind of a guy that stood on his own and kind of, he had his struggles and his issues, but he was a genius in his own right and really became a powerhouse inside of the Marvel Universe out there. And when Marvel introduced him into Civil War, I was like, oh, this is cool, this is fun. But really, it was very much quickly turned out that he was nothing more than Iron Man's sidekick. So when the last movie ended up coming out with Spider-Man 3 and they brought everything back and they completely and totally erased everybody's memory of him, I actually got rather excited. I really enjoyed that movie. I love seeing Tobey and Andrew come back. I think Andrew Garfield is an extremely underrated Spider-Man out there. I think he deserved a lot better from the storytelling that he got. I thought he did a great job as the character. And at the end of the day, it's one of those things that really got a lot of fans excited. And honestly, I know the state of the Marvel Cinematic Universe right now and how abysmally bad things are, but I do think we're going to get a couple of bright spots in the future. I think anything that Deadpool and Wolverine, I think anything that Ryan Reynolds or Hugh Jackman's involved in could at least potentially be good, at least especially if it's just centers around them. And honestly, now that everything's been erased and we no longer have Iron Boy and Peter Parker can actually be his own independent Spider-Man, I am cautiously optimistic about the future of that. There's been a lot of things that Tom Holland has been saying now that he's got more experience, that he's not got more clout, he's got more control over how the Spider-Man character is being treated. He's really been going out there and digging through the trenches, trying to find out what the fans really want from Spider-Man. And I'd imagine if he's dug in any of the places we have dug, he'd find out that Iron Boy is something that they definitely needed to shed a long time ago and let Peter Parker stand as his own right hero. And well, boys and girls, we've heard a lot of rumors going around out there as to what all of this might entail. We know that Sadie Sink has been cast in there, at least that was the rumor, and that Mark Ruffalo's Bruce Banner's Hulk might actually be showing up. We might be seeing a proper return to Savage Hulk in this movie. And boys and girls, another friendly reminder as to why we pay attention to the rumor mill, because more often than not, especially when you have reliable sources, guess what? It turns out they are right. And that's exactly what we've got right here, because boys and girls, Spider-Man 4, Tom Holland back on set as Sadie Sink spotted, and a new Hulk spoiler emerges. And yes, boys and girls, this is all stuff that the rumor mill had been running rampant, that we had done videos over. And who knows, is Sadie Sink going to be a proper Mary Jane Watson? I don't know. I sure hope so. But at the end of the day, we won't know for sure until this actually comes out. But boys and girls, once again, as to why we pay attention to the rumor mill out here, the Hulk and a red-headed version of Sadie Sink will indeed be appearing in Spider-Man 4 alongside with Tom Holland, boys and girls. And I, for one, are at least cautiously optimistic about this whole project, if nothing else, just based on how much Tom Holland seems to be wanting to make the fans happy. And I, for one, am all here to support somebody that is willing to try to do just that. So we're going to check out this article from CosmicBook.news, getting all of the juicy details and show you, of course, some of these set pictures and the video that many assume and sure as hell looks a lot like Mark Ruffalo, once again confirming that Hulk rumor. But before we do, if you do enjoy our content, hit that like button, share with all your friends, and subscribe or follow if you have not already, boys and girls, because we are grinding, we are growing. We just crossed 2,300. We're sailing our way towards 24 on our journey to 100,000. I think we're sitting at like 2,330, and I could not do that without every single one of you. Also, leave us a comment in the section down below. Let me know, what do you think about this? Do you think the Spider-Man movie will actually end up being good like the rest of them have been, and how much universally loved they were by a lot of the fans? Do you think the overall state of the MCU and the MCU under Kevin Feige is going to end up affecting how this movie ends up doing at the box office like it has many other projects out there? What do you think? Are you excited to at least see the Spider-Man movie, or do you think this will end up being just another disastrous dumpster fire of the Kevin Feige regime? Let me know what you think about all that in the comments section down below. If you like to support the channel, please check out the links in the description as well. All right, boys and girls, from CosmicBook.news and our dear sweet Will Harrigan. Spider-Man 4, Tom Holland back on set as Sadie Sink spotted and a new Hulk spoiler emerges. And honestly, this is kind of a throwback to what you've seen in some of the crossover comics and stuff like that of Spider-Man and the Hulk crossing over and doing something. And it's probably going to end up being like most crossovers you've seen in the past out there, boys and girls. where you see the guys, they start off, they get into a big fight, right? And then they end up becoming friends and figure out who the real villain is. And they team up and they both realize they're heroes. And they end up defeating the overall bad guy. This is a story that we've seen done before and many times before. So it's nothing new when it comes to that. We know exactly what to expect, but it doesn't mean it can't be executed really well. I loved all of those crossovers, so I'm perfectly okay with that. After the stunt-related accident that led to a mild concussion and a brief production pause, Tom Holland is back filming. The break appears to have been short and precautionary, and the production team has resumed shooting scenes in the UK. The first look at Sadie Sink. Sadie Sink, who joined the cast earlier this year, was recently spotted on the London set in a distinct red hair look, as captured by uploader Unbox PhD. Her outfit looks pretty normal, though exactly whom she's playing remains unconfirmed. But this does squash all of the rumor mill stuff about Sadie Sink potentially playing a Gwen Stacy character. Unless for some reason they're going to make Gwen Stacy a redhead, which would be completely and totally antithetical to everything we know about Spider-Man. That would be kind of weird, but that is absolutely the confirmation that we've got. As you can see right here from some of the different pictures, this is one of the first ones that they brought up out there. This is another one. You can see Tom Holland right here returning to set, just like they said. He's back. He's ready to go. He's working, probably got himself a little stunt getting ready to go right here. And of course, you can see Sadie Sink right here. Looking lovely as ever. Got all her hood up there. Obviously, it's cold over there in London. It's wintertime where they're filming right now. But once again, this right here confirms that she will indeed still be sporting her very lovely, long, beautiful red hair. And as a guy who has an affinity for redheads, who literally married one, and one of my first videos to ever actually do decent was the erasure of redheads from Hollywood, I'm glad to see that that is not happening in any way, shape, or form. Could we get ourselves a proper Mary Jane Watson? I don't know, but I would totally love Sadie Sink to be that. We need a proper MJ. After all, Tiger, you hit the jackpot with that one. Am I right, boys and girls? Am I right? But it's not just Sadie Sink and her lovely red hair that we get as well. According to one theory, she could be portraying a character aligned with John Berthol's Frank Castle, the Punisher, possibly his sidekick or a partner. I just don't think with all of the credit that Sadie Sink's got out there that would actually end up being the case, and that's all they would use her for. Now, I could be completely and totally wrong, but that at the end of the day is where we're kind of at. So they've got a little bit of a video here with some of this stuff, but it's basically just like a lot of the same stills that we just looked at, seeing the same kind of thing over here in video format, so not really all that much different. You've got a little bit of some of the stuff right here on the scenes of everybody doing stunts and stuff like that. I just can't see her having this much interaction and having them just using her as some side character out there. I just really can't see in that. And honestly, considering her pedigree, this girl deserves a proper place as a character that is going to go term long forward. As to what that'll actually end up being, I have no idea. A tweet from Undox PhD says that the Hulk was taken away in an ambulance, while unverified, oh, just wait, this has sparked speculation that the Hulk's role in the film may include a dramatic scenario where he's incapacitated or taken into care, something we haven't seen in the previous MCU entries. It's also unclear if this was the actual Hulk or Mark Ruffalo as Banner. Regardless, you have to question what could that do to the Green Goliath. Well, we've got that question answered, because here is the video right here from Marvel Multiverse over there on Twitter. Yes, they're a little bit of a shill account, but they're doing a great job giving us footage on the ground. As you can see right here, this is believed to be Mark Ruffalo. You can see him getting carried away a stretcher. This has got the fire department New York right here. So obviously these are actors. This isn't the actual fire department over there, because they're filming all of this in London. But that sure looks like Mark Ruffalo to me. All of his curly gray hair and everything else, that sure looks like it to me. And obviously this is something we've seen before, where he gets in big fights, he falls out, he ends up reverting back to his regular self. Maybe this is that. I don't know. But this absolutely confirms the rumor that Hulk will be showing up. I mean, Mark Ruffalo even denied it in some interviews, but that's because Mark Ruffalo has been one of the biggest leaks out of the Marvel Cinematic Universe over the last few years, and has gotten his PP smacked multiple times from Marvel executives for letting cats out of the bag. He's learned his lesson, but that doesn't stop. And honestly, Marvel knows what's going on with all of these leaks, right? They're allowing this. If they wanted a closed and locked down set where none of this footage got out, that's exactly what they would be having. But at the end of the day, they're not doing that. Why? Because everyone inside of Marvel with half a brain inside of their head actually knows how bad things are going. And considering how much of a disappointing box office year they've already had, between Fantastic Four flopping, Thunderbolts flopping, Captain Black America flopping, all of that kind of stuff, losing them money at the box office. They want the hype for the Marvel train to keep going. They want a project for fans to get excited about, and they know that Spider-Man, beyond a shadow of a doubt, is a brand name that is going to sell and that fans are universally love and are going to get excited about. It's one of the few characters they haven't completely and totally destroyed and tried to race swap or gender swap. Although, trust me, if it wasn't for all of their billions of dollars they've lost over the last few years, I guarantee you would be getting a Miles Morales in place of Peter Parker in the near future. Hell, we still might, boys and girls. It's Disney after all. But needless to say, that doesn't sound like something Tom Holland, with the way he's talking and all that kind of stuff, is going to end up happening. But needless to say, this confirms that he will indeed be here. There's no doubt about that whatsoever. Mark Ruffalo is going to be in here, and IGN even had to cover this as well because you've got all of this stuff going on. So Marvel appears to be deliberately keeping Sink's character under wraps to encourage speculation, and may be well aware of her similarities to the comics Mary Jane, Carly Cooper, or more. One other interesting suggestion is that Sink is actually playing shapeshifter Shastra, and her various guises may all be part of the plot. That would be the dumbest idea ever and a waste of Sadie Sink. She's a very talented young actress. Spider-Man Brave Dude, now filming, redoing, yada, yada, yada. So really not much more from them. But once again, boys and girls, we don't know. I mean, this could be one of them situations where I think I've already pretty well explained as far as what we're going to get from a Spider-Man Hulk crossover. It's something that we've seen happen several times in the comics. This isn't a story that's going to be new or retread or rehashed anything more than what it already has been done a million times. The real question is, are they going to be able to pull it off successfully as the comics did in the past? Most likely not. But needless to say, the production team and the guys that seem to be running the show behind Spider-Man out there actually seem to know what they're doing and give us a pretty good job. We don't have a bunch of the nonsense, and they haven't completely and totally screwed up Peter Parker's character like they have in several other iterations out there. Sony knows better than anybody else out there that those Miles Morales movies across the Spider-Verse lost money, no matter what the Hollywood trade magazines or what a lot of those sycophant fans out there will try to tell you. They know the Miles Morales character doesn't sell. Marvel knows it, Disney knows it, Sony knows it, so they are sticking with Peter Parker going forward. And who knows? Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, it could just be Common Nerd being extremely cautious, optimistic, and way too hopeful. But to get us a proper redheaded Mary Jane Watson in person in a Spider-Man movie after all this time would definitely bring my butt back into seats because it shows that they understand and respect the lore. And if Tom Holland really has been listening to the fans, that has been something they have been asking for from day one. Boys and girls, because at the end of the day, Peter Parker and Mary Jane Watson, a proper redheaded Mary Jane Watson, are as iconic as sliced bread. And if you don't keep those two together, you will never have a proper, successful adaptation of Spider-Man. And if you waste Sadie Sink on some kind of stupid, idiocy side character out there, or is just nothing more as a part of a villain plot point, the fans will probably never forgive you, and it'll just once again show us that Disney has no real care for fans want. And despite everything Tom Holland is saying, at the end of the day, the buck stops with Kevin Feige. But we'll see what happens. But once again, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, the Hulk and Sadie Sink are now confirmed for the next Spider-Man movie. What they will do with them and how it will all work out is only a matter of time to see what happens. But as we all know, if you make the fans happy, we'll make you rich. If not, that decision will be yours and yours alone. And whatever happens to you will be exactly what you deserve. So make the smart decision and give us some proper boy genius Peter Parker and not the abysmal Iron Boy trash that the MCU has been giving us over the last decade. Hashtag Spider-Man. Peter Parker is Spider-Man, boys and girls. A big shout out to all of our subscribers and members out there. Thanks for watching, and make sure you guys like and subscribe if you have not already.